On then to the discussion agenda. And the first item on the discussion agenda, I would like to call on Mr. John Lewis, Economic Development Administrator. Mr. Lewis, you're recognized, and we have some very distinguished guests in our audience that you will introduce
Yes,
in
we
just
do.
a minute that I think are here also to discuss this.
Yes, I'll hold off on recognizing everyone for a few minutes. It's great, though, to see such a wonderful attendance to support our UCF programs. We have program managers here this morning, officials from UCF, companies who were clients of the various programs, student interns, just a lot of support for these programs. We're very proud to present that to you this morning. But time is short, so I'll get right to the heart of the matter. This agenda item seeks your approval to process payments that are budgeted in our current fiscal year ending September the 30th for our Orange County UCF Economic Development programs. They are the Institute for Economic Competitiveness, the UCF Small Business Development Center, the UCF Small Business Advisory Board Council, the UCF Business Incubator at Central Florida Research Park, and the UCF Venture Lab. These programs did not exist a decade ago, except for the Technology Incubator, which itself was a startup in 2000. But through hard work and through the support of county commissioners, these programs have grown, and they've grown together to become a very vital part of our economic development strategy. They assist companies all the way from Apopka to Christmas and everywhere in between, and these programs together are a large reason why Orange County and Orlando is recognized widely as one of the best places in the United States to start and grow a business. A history lesson with just one slide. All of our programs really represent the convergence of a number of factors a decade ago. First was the Metro Orlando Technology Strategy, which was commissioned by Orange County Commissioners, which among its recommendations reminded us and recommended to us that we devote as many resources to innovation and entrepreneurship as we do to traditional economic activities such as providing incentives and marketing. September the 11th, 2001. Of course, everyone knows that the economy took a nosedive following September the 11th, but we were hurt. We didn't stay hurt. We acted, and the county approved 2 economic stimulus packages in 2002 and 2003, 23 ideas altogether, including these 5 programs that really helped us to jumpstart the economy again following September the 11th. Among the other items in this package, though, were Orange County jump-starting 9 IT academies in Orange County public schools, joining with UCF to build the biotech research greenhouse, and a number of other initiatives. But the economic stimulus packages included the 5 items that we're talking about today. Following our economic stimulus packages, the idea of what we were doing came together even further with widespread acceptance that innovation and entrepreneurship are the keys to economic success, starting with the publication of The World is Flat and a number of books and articles following that. If we look at the programs individually, the Institute for Economic Competitiveness, our goal was to create one of the top 10 regional economic research centers in the United States. We had no local expertise that would provide continually updated economic forecast and analysis that would help local decision makers such as yourselves, local business people, to make decisions. Sean Snaith was hired as the director of the Institute, and he's become our go-to expert in the matters of the economy. And you'll see a picture there of Sean Snaith on CNBC Squawk Box, and he has brought national recognition to Orlando and Orange County. He squawks a lot. He's made over 120 presentations in the last 12 months, including to the mayor's jobs and economic summits. The great quality that Sean Snaith brings to Orange County is that he meets with everyone, and he helps the average person understand what's happening and how to respond to it. His forecast and his analysis are very important first steps to a number of small businesses each year as they begin making their sales forecasts and other financial forecasts. So we're very happy to have Sean Snaith. Our contribution to the Institute is $200,000 a year, which makes up about 35% of its budget. The Small Business Development Center the UCF Small Business Development Center that's located in the National Entrepreneur Center, we support, for almost 10 years now, a strategic tools seminar series, ranging from marketing and strategic planning to e-commerce and how to do business with local government. This map shows the distribution of about 3,000 people who have attended these seminars, and you'll see that they come from all over Orange County and beyond. I would note, though, that participants from outside Orange County pay at least twice as much for these seminars as companies within Orange County because we subsidize these efforts. But because the Entrepreneur Center is located downtown and UCF is at UCF, there's a tendency sometimes to think that these programs benefit only companies related to UCF or companies around downtown. They don't. They benefit the whole region. One success story from the Small Business Development Center is Fernando Pereira, president of Pegasus Transportation. He participated in the very first strategic planning seminar in 2002 and became a steady customer of the SBDC and the Entrepreneur Center ever since. He started with one van, one driver, 100 square feet. Today, he has 65 employees, 20 coach buses, 3,000 square feet of office space, and 3,600 square foot shop. He's the 2011 SBA Business of the Year for the North Florida District of the SBA. So we're very proud of Pegasus Transportation. The UCF Advisory Board Council. This is a no-cost, custom-fit advisory board for Orange County companies. To date, over 400 professionals have volunteered their times to assist over 125 companies. There are currently 30 active advisory boards involving 266 volunteers. It's helped to retain or create 1,800 jobs. Last year, 4 ABC clients were named the Inc. 500,000 list of the nation's fastest growing companies. Jill Kaufman, program manager, is the single employee that does all the work associated with the advisory board council program. One of the successes of the advisory board council program is contact restoration in Winter Garden. In 2008, it had 40 employees. After the recession in 2009, they had 29 employees. It basically changed the way it does business from contact construction to contact restoration, and this year it has 78 employees. Revenues between 2009 and 2010 are up 114%, and according to the president of Contact, he says, we have been thriving during the recession because of our advisory board. We're better prepared to hand off our company to our children and key executives. How do you measure that last statement? We're better able to hand off our company to our children and key executives. That's just not about creating jobs. It's about keeping a company around for the next generation. We ought to somehow invent a statistic for that. The UCS Business Incubator at Central Florida Research Park. This is a university-driven community partnership that provides early-stage technology companies with the tools, the training, and the physical space to become successful. A study in 2009 showed that it helped 160-plus companies create over $800 million in average revenue, annual revenue, and 1,600 jobs with an average salary of $59,000. Currently, there are 49 companies in the Central Florida Research Park Incubator with 301 employees, up from 240 at the start of the year. One of the success stories, a very interesting success story out of the incubator, is Allergy Interactive. This was founded by a UCF doctoral graduate, David Rogers. You can get your PhD now in a field called text and technology, which is interesting in itself. But Allergy has an exclusive agreement with McGraw-Hill to create the UCF digital press, where students can download their textbooks, including the rich media, the hyperlinks, coaching applications, and so forth. I've shown here a coaching application on an iPhone for one of the textbooks that Dr. Kibble from UCF Medical School has available to students. This company has hired key people and is up to 10 employees. The UCF Orange County Venture Lab, it's a joint venture of Orange County and UCF, and its sole mission is to nurture new tech spin-offs from UCF and other spin-offs and startups with the potential for hiring UCF graduates. The UCF Venture Lab has advised over 150 incubator clients I made a mistake there. That's 150, not just Incubator clients, but clients throughout the community just this past year, and 11 UCF faculty members. It's currently assisting 26 clients, employing 181 people. And one of the success stories from the Venture Lab is VAX Design Corporation. It designs, develops, and manufactures in vitro models of the immune system so that vaccines can be tested within this model before clinical trials start. The Venture Lab provided sales coaching, market and industry research, and guidance on grant funding. Sanofi Pasteur acquired VAX Design in 2010 for $60 million. Sanofi Pasteur is the largest company in the world dealing with the human immune system. The company is now called Sanofi Pasteur VAX Design Corporation. It has 55 employees right now, and Orange County, through QTI incentives, is trying to help make sure that this company stays and grows in Orange County. So all of the things that we do, all of our programs fit together. So this is kind of a summary of where we have come from in the last 10 years. It's a model really for the rest of the country. These are the amounts included as I've described in the presentation. And with the BCC action today, these programs can continue. I think they can only get stronger, and I would like to be back here 10 years from now as a member of the audience to see the next decade's presentation on these subjects. So with that, we'd be happy to answer any questions that you have. Dr. Hitt is in the audience, Sean Snaith, Tom O'Neill, Fred Kittinger. So that's what I'd like to recognize just in closing, is just the great participation and leadership and involvement that we have from everyone associated with our programs at UCF. And I'd just like to ask everyone here who supports these programs and is involved with them to stand up and be recognized.
Wow. Wow.
Thank you very much.
Well, thank you, John, and I hope 10 years from now we'll still be relying on you for your guidance and assistance. You've been a great resource to Orange County. So that I will tell you, whatever happens in the next 10 years, you can certainly be proud of the great start you've given us. I want to take a minute to ask Dr. and President Hitt if he'd like to say a few words, and of course we'd always love to hear from our local celebrity, the Squawk Box there, Dr. Sean Snaith. Dr. Hitt, pleasure to have you here today. Such an honor to have you with us.
Well, thank you so much, Mayor Jacobs and members of the Commission and Controller Haney. I just would like to make a few quick points, if I may. First, we are honored by your faith in UCF and in the programs that we work on in collaboration to build the intellectual infrastructure that helps us grow and sustain our local economic success stories. Many of the men and women from the UCF team you've just met are here this morning, and they're among the best in this nation when it comes to enhancing our community's entrepreneurship environment. And I would just have to say, I would be remiss if I didn't thank you for your own John Lewis and his many years of working closely with our staff to ensure that our programs and products meet and exceed your requirements and expectations. Likewise, we look forward to working with Eric Uskowitz, who also shares a long history of working alongside UCF folks. Second, we value our history of partnership with Orange County, and we will do our best to continue that great story. The lineage of successful economic development projects is impressive, ranging from the Incubator to the UCF College of Medicine, from helping to draw the Burnham Institute to advisory boards for small business. Leveraging our resources in collaboration is the key to holding an economic advantage over competing regions. And these programs that you're investing in through your action this morning provide us with those necessary tools. And finally, we look forward to building upon these successes as we work together to strengthen the economic prosperity of our region. As a metropolitan university, UCF is committed to working alongside our local government partners and enjoys a terrific relationship with cities and counties across Central Florida. But none is stronger than those that we have with Orange County. And we are very, very thankful to the Orange County Commission and your professional staff. Let me thank all of you again, Mayor Jacobs and commissioners. And let me just say that sometimes the best new ideas are old ones. Some of you may know the history of American higher education and understand the significance of the land-grant university. The big thing it did, other than opening the doors of higher education to a lot of common folk like me and my family, was to combine the discovery, the transmission, and the application of knowledge. Now, we have really adopted that model not as a land-grant university. We're not a land-grant university. We don't have the big agricultural presence. But we are a university that's of as well as in a community. And we believe that if we have top-quality researchers who discover new knowledge, many of whom are also fine teachers who transmit it to the next generations through our students, and work assiduously to apply that knowledge in meaningful and helpful ways, making our major investments in industries, programs that serve industries that are key to our regional economy, we're really doing our job as Central Florida State University. So thank you for the opportunities you've afforded us to help build a strong economy here in Central Florida and Orange County. And again, we pledge to continue our very best efforts to build a great Orange County. Thank you so much.
Thank you, President Hitt. And let me tell you, how much we appreciate having the great university in our region. Dr. Snaith was with us at our summits, our job summits, as were all the commissioners, and the one thing that we heard over and over and over again about, without question, one of our greatest resources and greatest assets is the University of Central Florida. So our community is well aware of that, and the partnership is phenomenal. Dr. Snaith, any words for us? How's the economy looking? We can't have you here and
I
not
don't have
you
any
speak. I'm sorry.
eloquent prepared remarks, but I do want to echo something that Dr. Hitt said, and that is the role that John Lewis has played in these programs. I remember when I came to interview the position, John was one of the guys that I met with and out of the group, and went on to discuss this whole stimulus package, and that at the county level kind of blew me away, because most other counties I've lived in other parts of the country were really just struggling with sort of day-to-day operational things, let alone something transformational and visionary like this. And John puts a lot of hard work into these programs, and he's really nurtured them over the years. And I tell everybody, I've read journal articles that have had less research behind them than one of John Lewis's emails. So that I'd like to echo. I won't go on about the economy, but there's been a little additional anxiety, I think, foisted back upon us as I started to flash back, and maybe some of you did, to 2008 when we saw the markets gyrate. The Associated Press survey out today suggests that the the recovery will continue, but it's going to be very gradual, unfortunately. But I think most of my colleagues on that panel do not think there'll be a double dip, but it is a slowdown that we're not really thrilled to see.
Yeah. Thank you, Dr. Snaith.
Thank you.
Well, let me put the ball in motion by offering a motion to approve the process of payments for budgeted 2011 year for Orange County UCF Economic Development Programs. Good. Thank you, Commissioner Brummer. Now we have a number. I think pretty much everyone on the board has some comments. Commissioner Edwards, let me call on you.
Thank you. Thank you, Mayor. I want to thank President Hitt and all the others from this great team. Being here, the chamber is going to be empty when they leave. There are 90. For those watching, we have a full house. But I had the pleasure of being on the board back in the early 2000s when a lot of these programs got started, and it's just great to be back and to see how successful these programs have been and how the great partnership between UCF and the county has continued. I have the pleasure in District 5 of, one of the jewels, or the primary jewel in District 5 is UCF. And having been here since 1981 and seeing UCF go from a bedroom commuter school to, is it the third or second largest university in the country today, with the with the great asset it's been with the research park and all these programs. It's just a great success story, and a lot of that is due to President Hitt's leadership since he's been here and the great team of individuals he's put together. So I want to thank UCF for that, for the partnership, and for the great job they've done for our community.
Thank you, Commissioner Edwards. Well said. Commissioner Damiani.
Thank you, Mayor. I want to echo some of the sentiments of Commissioner Edwards as well, but I also wanted to thank John Lewis. John, we're going to miss having you around as frequently as we have, but hopefully you'll still be involved, and just thank you for all the efforts over the years of making sure that this program got put in place and was sustained. You know, being a UCF graduate myself, and being a member of this board, I'm particularly proud of the synergy and the collaboration between UCF and Orange County. You don't see that everywhere. You know, I've been here for 25 years, and you're right, it was a commuter school. It was kind of off the grid on the east side of town, kind of like an afterthought almost. But now you look around, and UCF is ingrained in the fabric of our community everywhere, from the digital media school downtown to Medical City to the the main campus that'll make your head explode. I can't even figure out where I'm going anymore over there. Just really an amazing partnership and collaboration between the agencies, and it's a real tribute to everybody that is here, that's been involved, that's built this thing, that continues to nurture it and grow it, and the sky's the limit. So I thank you all, and I'm definitely a supporter, and we'll be voting in favor.
Thank you. Commissioner Thompson.
Thank you, Mayor, and welcome back, Mayor.
Thank you.
I could echo everything that's already been said, but, I wasn't on the board back in 2000, but have been working closely kind of as a community supporter with UCF since about 2002, 2003, and especially as it relates to the incubator. UCF's always welcomed anybody willing to get involved and willing to try to make a difference with open arms, whether you're a UCF alum or not. It's always an open door, and if you want to be part of something bigger, I've always found that I can get involved, or anybody can get involved if they're willing to put a little sweat equity in, and we can all benefit from the partnerships that you've put together, Dr. Hitt, over at UCF and your staff. I was thinking about the incubator graduates and stories that I've heard over the years. One is, I'm close enough with Dan and Katrina Rini with Rini Technologies, and we provide, whether this board knows it or not, we provide the air-conditioned suits that our military that they're wearing on the front lines because of this UCF graduate and first graduate ever of the incubator program. And if it weren't for the incubator program and Tom O'Neill's office, we wouldn't have this technology necessarily, and we wouldn't have this company, not in Orange County. They're right on the border, but not in this region. And they probably represent hundreds of millions of dollars in government contracts, defense industry contracts that come here. And then Wayman Armstrong. We had a proclamation we gave him, I think, 2 years ago at Orange County. He was the #1 business from the SBA from a national level, I think, 2 years ago. And the fact is, I had welcomed Wayman to my small business group, and he told the story of how he was literally running his business out of the trunk of his car. And had it not been for these programs, he wouldn't have his business and the dozens of people that he probably has right now. And then finally, up on the 5th floor, Stephanie, for those of you who know her, she fills in for Nancy sometimes. She's wearing an armband today. And the first time I saw that armband was with Carol Ann Dykes. We were at a Florida hospital event together, and we were talking about an incubator company called Wellnia. And it was literally, those are the armbands. They were running the technology and creating the technology to work with our local hospital system. You see people wearing them all the time. And had it not been for the support of these programs by Orange County, we probably wouldn't have that kind of technology and kind of entrepreneur ecosystem that we're all working towards. So with that, just a couple of final remarks is, one, I commend UCF on your ability to leverage the dollars that you get every single year. It blows me away that we have all this success for only $550,000 a year. And I would hope that in the near future that this board can have a conversation about if we're truly committed to job creation and diversifying our economy, maybe there's an opportunity down the road for an influx of some additional dollars into these types of programs and some that are similar, since they are already so successful. And I would really, in the near future, love to see something that focuses not so much on these early-stage companies, but our second-stage companies, since we've seen that there's so much growth potential with those second-stage companies. So with that, congratulations. Thank you very much for all that you do, and we're looking forward to football season. Go Knights.
Yeah, absolutely. Commissioner Bromer.
Thank you, Mayor. President Hitt, I very, very much appreciate you relating the land-grant college model. And it, it doesn't occur to a plebeian such as myself, but clearly that is, I would believe, how UCF is so well woven into the fabric of our business community. It doesn't jump out at you, but our land-grant colleges, perhaps over the last 30 years, haven't gotten the credit for what they do in the nation, and I so appreciate you pointing out that that's your model for UCF. It really does get your university woven into our community, and I very, very much appreciate that, and all that UCF does, and I very much appreciate you keeping WUCF Radio on the air. Thank you.
Well said, Commissioners, and Commissioner Boyd. I'm sorry.
No, that's okay, Mayor. I was just waiting for everybody to get through. I just wanted to thank everybody at UCF for all the work that you do in our community. A lot of exciting things happening out there, and so many of you that are involved in the Incubator programs, as well as working with a lot of our municipalities, is extremely important. It was nice to see one of the companies there out of Winter Garden did not realize they were a benefactor of all that UCF offers. So that was great to hear, and I know that family very well. So I'm glad to see that they were able to capitalize on that. So with that, I just want to say thank you for everything that you do. Enjoyed the kickoff event, Dr. Hitt. You guys got quite a team there, and looking forward to a good season coming up here.
That was a lot of fun. That was a lot of fun. I want to mention, I know this board knows it, but great things rarely happen by accident. And the transformation of this university is due to the leadership of Dr. Hitt. And I know I had the privilege about a year and a half ago of coming to an event that you put together to talk about how the university could not just, even though you're not an island, how you could continue to work with the community, to support the community, be a part of the community, bringing in stakeholders from all across Orange County and your own leadership internally to talk about that. We spent the whole morning together, and I thank you for that opportunity to be a part of that. And that's how things happen. It happens with vision and leadership, and most of all, commitment. So thank you for your commitment to your students and to this whole community. And having said that, Commissioner Damiani mentioned that he goes out to the campus and he gets lost. And just as a personal note, as a mom, I have twins that are out at the campus right now. One of them has already gotten lost. So it happens. But they're both really excited, and it's amazing to have 22-year-old kids that are excited about starting school, but they both are. They're in great programs at the university, and they're loving it out there. And as a kid myself, I wanted to run as far away from home as I could to go to school. It's pretty phenomenal when you have a school in your backyard that your kids are excited about going to. Because most of us, if it's in our backyard, it's not cool. But my twins are both proud as they can be to be at that university, and they're both, quite frankly, very proud of you, Dr. Hitt. And that's pretty amazing to me, because when I was in college, I didn't even know who the university president was. But mine are both, do you know him? Do you know President Hitt? So thank you for being such a great leader in our community. Now, with no further ado, all those in favor of the motion, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Thank you again, ladies and gentlemen, for joining us today, and thanks for all of your support. All right. Well, y'all are staying. Okay. We've got a couple more items we need to vote on. The next one is item B1, and I'm going to call on Johnny Richardson, Purchasing and Contracts Manager, as the room clears out.
Good morning, Mayor Jacobs and Commissioners.
Good morning, Mr. Richardson.
I have two
Tell you what,
items for
Mr.
the...
Richardson, why don't we take a 5-minute break
Sure.
just to let the crowd clear, and I bet the commissioners would probably like to take a minute to step out, and we'll come back to you. Thank you, Mr. Richardson.
Yes, ma'am.